Dating modern women on the Whatever podcast. Here we go.
Do you want a guy to pay for you on the first date?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'd say no, if I'm being honest. I mean, if he offers, maybe, but I'd like to offer myself too.
But then
I've
would you
never
let
been
him?
on a date where a guy wanted me to pay ever.
Because that's not how it should be.
Yeah.
Guys should take. If you're courting a woman, you're supposed to take.
Actually, they would be insulted if I even reached
Yeah.
for my bag.
Oh
Would
yeah,
they?
for sure.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go around the table on this. So what was your answer to the?
Well, if he offers, I'd allow it, but I would also offer for that, or I would pay for dessert or something like that after.
But I mean, would you? Okay, if let's say the check. Here's a better question. Let me ask two questions. One, just point blank period. Who do you think should pay on the first date? And then the second question is, if on the first date the guy said, "Hey, let's split the bill," would that be a turn off? Would it be a deal breaker? So just going back to you, would that be a deal breaker?
What?
What I
part?
just stated.
If he asked to split the bill.
If the guy asked to split the bill.
It depends on their reason, but if they had a good reason, I wouldn't be insulted.
He didn't give a reason. Let's say that he doesn't even. Okay, you're on a date with a guy. The waiter comes and he tells the waiter 2 checks.
And it's the first date?
First date. These separate checks, please.
I would be very surprised.
Deal breaker, would it be?
I would not date them again unless they were gonna make it up to me somehow.
Okay, so it would be maybe not a red flag, but it'd be a deal breaker.
They would have to really make it up to me for me to
okay. Sure.
Who's paying on the first date? Now, I know that women, the pickings are slim for guys, but guys, these are your choices. Oh my God. I really hope this is a very small sample space of women and not indicative of who's out there in the dating market. My own life coaching practice, I'm really more now into trying to help young folks find a good mate, because I took so many years. It took me 35 years to find an appropriate mate and then find out who I needed to be in order to allow this relationship to take place. I know that my spouse is nothing like these women. These women are, would I allow him to pay? And he'd have to make it up to me. What? Who are these people? First of all, none of them are terribly attractive. I'm certainly not going to be on the front page of Vogue magazine myself. I won't be doing any, facial modeling anytime soon. But these gals are just ugly at the core. What is this gal talking about? She would allow it. How about she just says, hey, listen, let me pay, or let me put in, and no guy's going to get mad or upset if a woman's going to take out her wallet and look to pay for half the meal. Matter of fact, with some of the gals that I work with in my life coaching practice, I say, listen, if you don't like the guy that you're going out with after that first date, then you come out and you pay half the bill and say, listen, I really enjoyed meeting you. I just don't see that it's going to work. Let me pay half the bill. At least give him the option out. Don't make him feel like a fool that he's going to pay for this whole date. You get a free meal, and then he walks out of there with nothing. That's not a good risk. He could take a better risk at a blackjack table and get better odds, I'm pretty sure. This other gal talking about that the guy would have to make it up to her. What are you talking about? The problem is that women have been led to believe for so long that they are the prize and that men are getting the prize. I think that all the women, what they're looking for is the man is the prize. They're looking for a 6-figure guy, 6 feet tall, that's got 6-pack abs. That sounds like a prize to me. And there's not a lot of those guys walking around out there. If you look at the statistics about how many men in the United States of any race is making more than $100,000 a year, especially in marrying range, 25 to 30 years old. It's kind of ridiculous. But these women's expectations are just absurd. How about saying, let me pay, or, allow me to pay half? Or if he said, separate checks, well, you don't know him. He doesn't know you. He's got as much to risk as you do. He spent as much time making himself up, make sure he had the right clothes, the right cologne. He had to shave himself. He had to make sure his hair was done as well. I don't know why these women think they put so much more into prepping for a date than a man put in, because they're both taking a chance with their time, investment of product and clothing and all that stuff. They're both equally situated in risk when they're sitting at a table meeting for the first time. These women's just have it ass backwards, just crazy nuts. Let's get back to Brian and whatever. Let's see where this goes.
Sure. What about you?
I would be willing to split it.
Okay. So then who should pay on the first date? Or split?
I'd say half and
You're
half.
fine with split? Okay.
Yeah.
And you'd be fine if the guy asked for 2 checks when the waiter came, you'd be
Yes.
cool with that? Okay, what about you?
I think the guy should pay on the first date
Okay. Why is that?
because they asked me out and I spent my money, like she was saying, like on the hair, the makeup, getting ready, the clothes, everything like that. So I am investing in myself as well.
Okay. And if a guy did ask for separate checks, what would you do?
I just probably wouldn't see him again.
Even if he was interested in seeing you again and the date otherwise went okay?
Yeah, I wouldn't see him again.
Done? Okay.
Done.
Fair enough.
Gentlemen, steer clear. Run from this gal. Why? What's the big deal? She's talking about she had to do her hair, her nails, her skin. Right? All she did was put on a mask, is what she did. Cover up all of her inequities on her face, probably. What? A guy didn't go out and he had to buy a hair product? He didn't have to shave? He didn't have to spend money on a nice shirt so that you'd be impressed, so he'd look like a man of ways and means? And let's just say he wasn't feeling it, or he said, maybe I need more time getting to know this gal, and let's split the checks, because again, we're equally situated at risk whether or not this is or is not going to work. But according to this gal's logic, I wouldn't see him again. Why? Because he didn't want to pay the whole thing. I mean, I would pay the whole check. I was out with my friend last night. My friend is 84 years old. And let's just say she's a woman of weight and means 7 figures deep. But me, I asked her to go out, so I have to pay the bill, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But I'm not looking to date my 84-year-old friend. These two people are equally situated, trying to size each other up. So actually, if she doesn't want to see you again, and guy, you took her out and paid the bill, I think she did you a favor.
Okay, fair enough. What about you?
I would prefer the guy to pay on the first date, but I just went on a date recently and he paid for dinner and I paid for dessert.
So he paid 50 and you paid 10? Something like that?
No, it was actually like both at stands, like food trucks, so it was cheap for both
Oh,
ends. And I
okay.
offered to pay for dessert because I felt bad.
See, I think that's so fair. That's like what I was saying,
Yeah.
like it's.
But
you
normally
felt
I'd want
bad.
them to pay.
Normally you'd want the guy to pay.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be like a deal breaker. Like I wouldn't,
But would it be like slightly negative brownie points?
If they
or whatever?
want me to pay, then that's weird. If I offer to pay, then that's cool. Like,
Sure.
because I've had a guy want to do 50-50 and I thought he was so unattractive and I was like, that is just so lame. Like, you're so lame. But like, I will offer to chip in. Like, just don't make me, I guess. I
Sure.
have a problem with authority.
Here you go. The modern woman. I have a problem with authority. Yeah, because they want to be equally situated, right? And men and women are not equally situated. We take the more dangerous jobs. We work longer hours. We take more risks in our lives. And there are women that do it also. But by and large, women don't take those kinds of dangerous jobs. They take jobs that are interesting with respect to things that they do that work with people. Men take things that are interesting in terms of things, science, technology, electronics, mathematics, things like that, engineering. So we take more dangerous jobs. So we take greater risks in our jobs, and those greater risks in jobs, they come with greater paychecks. We put in longer hours. We don't vacation. We ask for bigger raises. So this gal feels like she's equally situated with a man, which is ridiculous. And then we'll get mad if he says, would you like to pay half the bill? I'm sure and then all of a sudden, if he's asking that, now all of a sudden he's lame. Now he's not attractive. So if you didn't find him attractive, what are you doing out on a date with him? And then if you find him unattractive and he's lame, why are you expecting him to pay the whole bill then? Why don't you just then say, I'm not interested, I'm going to pay half the bill and I'm going to go? And if she says she does not like to be told what to do because she rejects authority, well, listen, when you're in a relationship, there's somebody in charge. And biologically, typically, usually, that's the man. Okay? I'm not saying the man is the boss, but my job, my responsibility is to be the head of my home, the head of my household, to lead my woman to a place of safety and to lead her to a place of success and to protect her and to give her a great, fabulous life. And to do that, I need her cooperation and I need her understanding. I need her to be on the same page with me. So one of us has to lead because you can't have two leaders. We're not equally situated in this partnership. And if there is a partnership between these two people, there's always got to be one person who's got to take the lead to make the decision. Biologically, commonly, traditionally, the way it always worked was when it was the man. But that's when men were men and goyles were goyles.
You have a problem with authority.
Just to be clear, why is it lame if he wants to go? Because I agree with you, but why do you think it's lame if he goes 50-50?
Honestly, I couldn't pinpoint it, but I literally remember like how I felt last time this happened, where the dude was around my age. I thought he was so cute, and then he wanted to go 50-50, and I was just disgusted. Like any chance of sex happening was gone. So
Why do you think that is, though?
I don't know. I didn't feel taken care of. You need like a man to take care of you. You don't need that, but it feels good.
Oh. We'll come back to. Or did you have more? Or
No, we can.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd like to hear the answers from these other women on that. But
We'll come back to that though.
I'm sorry, I just can't process this modern woman logic. You want to be equally situated, right, in the relationship. You don't like the authority. And you find the guy lame if he's asking something of you. And then what? You're going to withhold sex if he doesn't pay for the whole thing? I don't understand. I'm not following this entire logic. Okay, you want a guy to take care of you. Well, then you're basically saying you're submitting to the man doing that, so you're endearing yourself to him, basically elevating him to a level of superiority. You always want to look up to your guy, right? You won't date a guy that's, if you're 5'5", 5'4", 5'3", no. You want to know why? Because you don't feel safe. You don't feel protected. That's why you want a man who is superior, right? Makes you feel safe, makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel taken care of. Well, with that is going to come some level of authority. And you know what's going to come with that? Some expectation from the man of cooperation on your part. But guys, cooperation with this one, not going to happen.
I think whoever asks for the date pays for the date, but I would prefer
Whoever
a man
asks.
paid for the date. Like I'm going on a date with some random man. I think a woman's time is valuable. Like
A woman's time is valuable.
I wouldn't want to pay for the date.
Is
Honestly.
So your time is more valuable than his time.
Yeah, I think women are like art and gorgeous and beautiful.
What if he makes 10 times more money than you?
Great, then that's even more the reason he should be paying for the date.
But his
But
time would quite
he's-
literally be, I suppose, more valuable than yours.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
But continue. Okay.
Oh my God. Who's going to listen? Nobody at this table, I don't know how Brian from whatever does this. I don't know if I would have the patience to listen to this nonsense. So a woman's time is more valuable than a man's, but you're looking for a guy who's six figures. And if you're not earning six figures, then by every measure of a literal terms, his time is more valuable. Yeah, women are beautiful. They're wonderful. They're soft. They're delicate. They're the gentle sex, as Christopher Hitchens used to say. So what are you saying? Like your time is more valuable than a man's time? She seems like she has a superiority complex. Who's going to date her? I hope any guy before they date any of these women sees this podcast. This is your future. This is what you're getting into with these women. Gen Z, I weep for the future.